Today, we're gonna be talking about one of the worst train horns in North America. It's called a K5CA-LS. It's an emergency horn which started in Canada back in 2008 with the introductions of the MP40s to replace their F59 PHs in GO Transit. It could also has MP54s as well, even some old cab cars and new SEM ugly ones. Even though some SEMs are ugly, it's better because of the cool whites and ditches and some emergency horns. And Ace has warm lights too, which is similar than the lights of an ALC42 charger. Even ditch lights are sometimes slow or fast. It could depend whether it does when the horn sounds when approaching a railroad crossing. It's the K5CA-LSs have some locomotives or cab cars, sometimes like the P42DC number 903, for example. It was credited by most respectful owners on the Canada Regional. It's as the bells on 1L, 1, 3, 3B, and 4. Its 3B and 4 sounds a high notes when someone cross tracks, or when a car approaches railway tracks when an emergency horn started. Very, very loud and annoying. Speaking of which annoying ones, EXO has two horns, except for the Comet 2s, which have only one. It has locomotives like the F40PH-2Ds, P42DCs, SC42 Chargers, and their Siemens Venture cab cars. Speaking of Siemens Ventures, it could describe as a local cab cars, or sometimes like local cabsters, like control sters, like when a locomotive head and a passenger coach converted, and sometimes like Amtrak or something. It started in 2025 or 2026 in the routes, or some in GO Transit like the MPI Expresses, just like the MP54s, the MPEX like the MP54s. It has ACs instead of PHs-3Cs. The MP40 number 647 is rebuilding into an MP54. The K5CA remains the same. But some of them, the K5CAs, I think it will be banned in USA due to Ralph Fanning's hating it. But I don't think the cab cars on the new look ugly, even the old ones. But there's new ones are pretty okay, and the old ones too, for 30 years of service with Hawker Siddeley and UTDC. All that's on the EXOs is multi-levels, bi-levels, CRRCs, Siemens Chargers, ALP45DP, F59PHs, and 11 F59PHIs. Even Comet 2s have one too. Even they have emergency horns. Some emergency horns are going to the Hudson branch, or some are going fast. Even West Coast Express F59PH has one as an ex-Me train, a SEMCOG commuter rail that equipped with a P2, a K5LA to a K5CA, which made Alstom want to keep this horn on Ottoman Corridor Express, Coaster, and Sounder because they refused. They refused to put on the K5CA-LSs to remove it away. Because I think if we do that, then the horn will be as bad as it be, because it makes me or the other Ralph-fanners feel disgusted about what that horn is. Because of what? I think Alstom should made to decide to stop those K5CA-LSs in USA, but will be kept in Canada because of Canada emergency horns on the future. But I don't think they will have it anymore in the future times or something. But now Sounders have ones, even MP40s, because it has Series 9 on the cab cars. It has a K5CAs, which sounded more terribly than a K5LA raised letter. Raised letters are much okayer than this terrible K5CA. Because if K5CAs go to USA, then I think it will be banned or against the law not to use these horns in America. Because if someone uses this horn, then they will not make it great for a commuter rail, but will make great for the other K5 horns or other different kinds of horns on other trains. But if someone wants Alstom or Bombardier to remove the K5CAs from SEMCAP cars, I think my decision is it will be better to have a K5LA on one of these new cap cars. But why would they do this to a SEMCAP car in USA, but not in Canada? Because Canada have K5CAs, even Sounders, Coaster, and Ottoman Corridor Express. Maybe I think they will have to remove this because they don't want any ugliness or stupidness or any sort kind of bad thing will happen to that cab car. But maybe K5LAs will sound better to a new cab car. Even though some new horns are in the Siemens Chargers like the raised letters, even some Ventures, and some multi-level 3s. And maybe AOP 45As on the New Jersey Transit. But all are delivered and finished building in the Alstom in Germany. And speaking of the K5CAs, it will be wrong to sound it in the USA to not make America great for a commuter rail. Only if you make America great to have those horns removed and not to make it very ugly again, because no one wants to hear about these horns. And my opinion is that I think K5CAs should be not available in USA because it will be very loud that the neighbors will complain and Ralph-fanners will get angry and they will be disappointed about how Alstom treated it. Because if they did it, I don't want Alstom to refuse to remove that horn. Because I want their laws to change. Because of K5LAs will sound better. Because I don't want K5CAs to rule the world or destroy it. I want them to be stayed in Canada, but not in USA. Because I don't want to get things in trouble for the new cabs and MP40s, even some in other railways too. But anyways, that's all for the K5CA-LSs. Also, Alstom cab cars, if you want a K5LA, maybe the K5CA should be going to Canada and not in the USA due to your laws, or maybe they're restricted of the K5LAs because K5LA's raised letters will sound better, but some Ralph-fanners thinks not good, but really better to have a raised letter K5LA, just like other old engines or passenger cars do, sometime like GE Genesis or Chargers or something. And anyways, that's all for my talking about the worst horn of all, the K5CA-LS. It could make an emergency horn even louder, but not that great. Maybe we should have a K5LA or something that makes sounds better than a K5CA bad horn in Go Transits in 2008. Anyways, that's it for the train talk on this emergency horn. I'll see you Ralph Fanners next time. Have a nice day. Stay safe in Canada and in the USA. All aboard, full steam ahead, and have a nice day and very safe and smart through trains.